All right, we're back for a midweek video. This is probably not going to be a long video, but it's going to be a video, and it's going to be cool. What are we going to do today? Well, we're going to work on Marge the Barge. Marge the Barge is my 64 Biscayne wagon. It's got a 230 inline six, 3 on the tree, a bad frame, and a big turbo. What could go wrong? Today we're gonna fix a couple oil leaks that are going on with Marge's barge. She has an oil leak from both sides of the feed line, so we gotta fix that. That requires taking the feed line off. You'll see where I'm going with this. Then we also gotta fix the charge pipe. It's not doing charge pipe things too well. But I also got a different turbo that I'd like to put on there. It's a better unit. It's billet, ball bearing. All the cool stuff. It's smaller as well, so it'll spool. It should make cool noises. That's the main thing we want to do here with Marges. We want cool noises. We want a little bit of boost. Just a cool cruiser. I see you guys online asking for a burnout. We can't do that. What you don't understand is Marge the Barge's frame at this point right now is basically exactly like a piece of rotted tree bark that has fallen off and is laying on the ground waiting to moss over and become soil. So we have to fix that, and by fix that I mean completely pull the body off and put a new frame on it, because this one is absolute trash. So no burnouts, not until that's done, unless it's kind of running good and we decide we're just gonna go with it, but no burnouts. So today, we're gonna do a couple different things. The first thing being that turbo right there is old. It's got fins blown off of it. It is what it is. It's seen its thing. It's ready to be retired. That thing needs to go to heaven. So we're gonna find out how long it takes for that turbo to go to heaven without any oil. I'm gonna pull the feed line, block the feed port, and we're going to go drive this thing and let it run and see how long it takes before that turbo decides it is not with the program. What happens to a turbo that has no oil? I don't know. I've never done this. I usually care about the turbos, so I have no clue. But there's one real easy way to find out. Let's just pull the feed line and go for a ride. Come on! Okay, so we're back. Step one. Just take your feed line off. I've already loosened it. You don't even need that, dude. So, I'm not going to add anything to this. I know you get away with putting some grease in it and blah, blah, but I'm not going to do that. I'd really just rather see how long this thing lasts. I gotta go run and grab a fitting so that way we're not blowing oil all over the side of the car over there. There you go. It does have a little bit of oil down in there, but not enough to do anything. See how this goes. Hey guys, you're in it. We got no oil feed line. We gotta go for a ride. Try to get this thing to cook. See how long it takes to cook it. You know what I mean? I got you guys zip tied in there to the seat like a 5-point harness. Cincinnati got nothing on me, boys. So you're probably going to see me stop and get out and look at the motor a couple times. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. One of them is because it's old. Like Lady That Threw the Jewel Off the Titanic old. So that's a good reason. Two, I foobarred the plug for the oil feed line, and I want to make sure it's not spraying oil everywhere and killing this motor before we can kill it with another turbo. So, there. Questions answered before it's asked. Leave me alone, sit in the back, and shut up. Jimbo from the future here. While editing this video, I just noticed that we just kind of went straight into mayhem on this turbo. I drove this car for 30, 40 miles without a feed line. Nothing. The turbo didn't even so much as get pissed off. It didn't care. This turbo is like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator 2. Like, you can't mess with this thing. So, we're now going to get into bits of me trying to kill it with random objects going in it. I just wanted to give a little bit of context because I did a very awful job of explaining what we were doing here. So, I'll get back to editing now. It has now been a couple days. For one, the audio is not great. I'm sorry. Broke the adapter to the mic. Ordered some new ones. Of course, they don't seem to be working, so that's good. So hopefully we'll get that figured out before the next video drops. But for now, you got some iPhone mic. Not my fault. It is. I'm not going to take responsibility for it. Anywho. It's been a couple days now, so we've ran the turbo without oil. We have shoved a bunch of stuff through it. It's not going to die, not unless we do something silly that we know will kill it. What's the fun in that? Everybody knows if you shove a screwdriver in a turbo, it's going to tear the turbo up. I think it was more fun seeing what we could shove through it and seeing if it would shred. And guess what? It all shredded. Put a salad through it, put an orange through it, put half a bush through it, some sticks, rocks, grass, cool stuff. None of it seemed to phase it. If anything, it made the turbo work better. Don't know. So, in conclusion on the turbo part of things, I'd say that $120 Amazon turbo is a pretty good turbo. They're like the Toyota Hilux of turbos. They just keep on going. So where we're at now is we're gonna put a better turbo on it. This is kind of the main reason for all this anyways. I wanted to put a turbo on it that would actually spool. So here we are. I have installed a GTX series turbo. This is ball bearing, billet, all the good stuff. As you can see, the turbo sits up a little bit higher. That's because I made an adapter pipe for it. We're going to put the hood back on this car, and I've decided to go ahead and cut it. Marge's hood is in bad shape. It's split, so the skin itself is actually coming off the hood. So if I was to ever do anything with this car, I'm not going to reuse that hood. Those hoods are available. You can get them anywhere. Just an Impala hood. Anyways, back to the turbo stuff. It's on. We got it running. It sounds great. Now I gotta kind of do my finish welding on everything. I want to make an aluminum exhaust for it that'll also come out the hood, just for weight reasons. I don't want any more weight hanging off of this thing than what needs to be, and the aluminum's the best way to go. Yeah. So again, this turbo is from On3 Performance. They're down in Sunbury, Ohio. It's a local company. I've been dealing with them for quite a few years. Bunch of great guys down there. I honestly, if it wasn't for those guys and Jegs, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that I do. Those guys help me out a lot. And so just a quick thank you to those fellas. Chad, Bob, Rob at Jegs. You guys rock. I genuinely appreciate what you do for me. And I hope to keep doing business with you for a long time to come. Enough with the mushy stuff. Let's get to the goods. So today, the goal here is to get this here hood on, get the exhaust on, and get it braced up, and go to a car show. A couple of my buddies are going to it, and I want to talk some shit to boomers and tell them that this car makes $700 or 700 horse and is awesome and jumps Coke cans and all that good stuff. Now, in reality, I know how this works. By the time we get the car done, the car show's over, the boomers are already in their afternoon nap, and it's just not going to work out. So, if that's the case, we'll go to a couple spots with it, take some cool rollers, meet some people, stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but we'll end it off with some awesome B-roll. So, hell yeah, let's get to the time lapses of some welding and some hood cutting and all that good stuff. little temperamental. Here we are. We're at the video takeaway. What are the takeaways from this one for me? Well, for one, Amazon turbos are serious. They're a lot like a 7.3 Power Stroke. They ain't the fastest. They ain't the coolest. But golly, they run forever. That thing, we were shoving stuff in that thing that we should have been getting paid for on other websites. You know what I mean? I don't know. You can't kill the thing. So we'll probably put that thing on another motor. See what happens when we put a bunch of boost through it. Who knows? Now, this one, we're not shoving stuff through it. This is a nice little unit. The guys down at On3 set me up pretty nice on this one, and I thank them, you know, for listening to my wants and my needs. Obviously, the wants and the needs for this: low boost, sounds cool, spools quick, stuff like that. We went from making about 0.3 pounds of boost to making roughly 3 to 4 with this, and that is instantly when you touch the gas. And that is exactly with the spring that's in this gate. So now 3 to 4 pounds of boost, we make 0 more horsepower. It literally runs exactly like it always has. Don't know. Don't really care though. It's reliable. It sounds cool. That's exactly what this car is supposed to be. So we're gonna leave it like that. I sent it out the hood. Do I regret it? No, dude. Do you regret it? I don't regret it. That looks awesome. Why would anybody regret that? The hell with that hood. That thing's beat. You know? This car's cool now. This car went from being a nerd to being the high school jock that all the girls want to bang. Just from doing this with a hood. This thing's sweet. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got for this one. It's getting dark out. I'm probably going to get mugged by a Yeti or something out here. I don't know. Next week, not next week, I'm talking out my ass right now. So in the next video with this car, I'd like to make a front valance for it, paint the motor up. Motor looks like hell in this thing. I'm not looking to make it look like a show car, obviously, but I'd like the motor to be more presentable. That paint in there is, you know, 265 years old or whatever the hell it is, and it shows. It's taken a beating in its lifetime, and it's allowed to. I mean, on a newer car, when they're this old, there'll be a pop tan or something weird like that. So we'll get that all painted up. I want to make a metal valance in the front. That'll be pretty cool, kind of give it that moonshine NASCAR look. And I'm hoping we can find a car show to go to. I'd like to see the response on this from the older generation. You know, we can hide a GoPro in there and leave the hood open, see what they think about all this. So we'll see what happens. And my video upload for next week will be the Nova. I want to kind of bounce from one to the other, give different content. So next week in the Nova, we're going to be buffing, cutting, buffing, fixing the engine bay, building the motor, getting it slammed down in there, putting all the trim back on it, all the cool stuff. The Nova and the wagon are polar opposites. You know, this car's reliable, rough, ugly, awesome car, where the Nova is going to be a prettier, less reliable, probably going to get wrecked from doing stupid ass burnouts in it and dumb shit like that. That's all right though. This one, I tried to do a burnout. I'm sure you guys saw it in the video. I revved it up, I dumped it, it stalled, it was in water. What more do you want from me? That's all we got. But that's where I'm going to end it. I'm going home. It's spooky out here. You know what I mean? I'm fat. These animals can eat on me for months, and they know it. I know they're in the bushes looking at me. I'm getting the hell out of here. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the views I've been getting. I know it's not as many as what other crazy guys have and stuff like that, but you know, when I first started making these videos, I expected only my friends to be watching it. Now it's about 3 people. So the couple hundred views that I'm getting, that's awesome. It's probably just my friends with their TVs on reloop, you know what I mean? And that's awesome. I just thought about that. That's kind of sad. Whatever. See you guys next week.